Good morning and happy Monday. I'm really excited to share my word this week with you. And first off, I want to apologize for not posting a word the last 2 weeks. I really missed being here, but I also had a lot on my plate that I needed to focus on, and so I just didn't really have the opportunity to post anything or record anything, and so I apologize for that from the bottom of my heart. Doing this is a real passion for me, and I hate to not be able to help my friends out there and help my viewers out there. And so I sincerely say I'm sorry. Now this week I have words for you, and our words for this week is trying out a new thing, and I'll talk about myself back in 2000 and some 4 or 5 years ago. I was at the point in my life when I felt really stuck, as far as my what I was doing in school. And some of you know, I think I might have shared a little bit of this in the past, where I was a biomedical engineering and pre-med major because I was trying to be all adventurous with the whole going to med school idea. I wanted to be an engineer and go to med school. But the reality of it was God was calling me to medical missions, and being a hands-on doctor was not the way that God was calling me to. Now, one of the things that I neglected was the things that came naturally to me. And I was so used to being on the same path. I was used to doing the same things. I was taking those engineering classes and taking those calculus and physics. And even though I don't really like physics, but I was taking it, and I was taking chemistry and all of those really interesting courses that people generally try to stay away from. But I wanted to challenge myself. And then I suddenly realized, oh my God, I really have no plans for this path that I'm taking. And so I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. For a while, I didn't transfer anywhere. I basically just, stayed, and sometimes I didn't take classes and all of that. And I started to pray about it. I felt like I knew what the end point was, but I didn't know what I needed to do. But guess what? I was doing the same thing over and over and over again, and there was really no growth in my life. And so I prayed about it, and there was a lady, really amazing lady back at my church in Maryland, that prayed with me one night, and the next morning, my amazing, I call her my adopted sister, Desire, she had called me, and we started to talk about this real issues, because Desire is one person in my life that really takes the time to challenge me and say, hey, we got to grow together. So if I'm growing, you need to be growing. We're not going to be sisters for nothing. And so she called me, and we started talking about it. And somehow, the end of that conversation, we came to the conclusion that I needed something that combined medicine with communications, because I love talking. I love presenting. And so we went online on Google and searched, and we found health communications. Oh my Jesus. There was nothing like health communications in Maryland. The closest school that had health communications was in Virginia. It was a school called James Madison. People that know that school know that it's really expensive. There was no way I was going to go to James Madison. So I started to look for other schools, and there were four other schools that were away from Maryland. One of them was here in Missouri. And I didn't want to move. I didn't know anybody in Missouri. I was freaking out about, oh my goodness, where am I going to start from? Now, I went on and started to research Missouri State University and started to ask questions, and started to get information. And I had a really amazing advisor that took the time and even called me over Skype and went over all of my classes and went over all the things that were going to transfer. Deep down in me, I was freaking out, and I was like, Lord, 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 I don't know what I'm going to do if I get to Missouri and I really don't have the support system that I have in Maryland, I didn't want to leave my support system, but also I didn't want to continue doing the same thing over and over again. So I went on and this was in April. In May, I came to Missouri to try to look for a place. Everybody in Maryland thought I was crazy. Every time I said I was moving to Missouri, they were like, wait, what? What part of the US is that? Do blacks even live there? And blah, blah, blah. I just heard all manner of things. And so for me, I had a lot of fear on the inside for trying out new things because I knew it was either going to go really bad or it was going to go really good. So I went ahead and I had that courage and ended up moving to Missouri in July, just so I don't take a lot of your time. I ended up moving to Missouri in July of that year and started school the month after. And I'm telling you, there's no exaggerations. I literally had a vision in every single one of my health communications classes from day one. Now, one of the things that I told God was I needed a sign that I was doing the right thing and I was in the right place. I was in the place that He wanted me to be. And the first week that I came here, the years before that, I had not really had any manifestations of the gift of the Spirit. But the first week that I came to Missouri, I met some amazing girls at Evangel. It's a Christian university here in Springfield, Missouri. I met some girls there. I went there for Bible study, and oh my goodness, God opened my eyes to speak things concerning those girls' lives. There were about 9, 10 girls that I'd never met in my life, ever, ever. And all of a sudden, God is speaking those things through me in their lives. And while I was getting ready to be all like, oh my goodness, Lord, what just happened? God goes, well, that's your confirmation that you're in the right place. So I encourage somebody out there that probably feels that they're going to make the wrong decision by trying to take a step in the direction of their purpose, in the direction of where they really want to be. I encourage that person out there to, just take that step of faith. Take that step of faith. You cannot do the same thing that you've been doing and expect the same outcome. If you've been in a spot that's not been productive in your life, then maybe you're not in the right spot. So I challenge you out there this morning, this Monday morning, take that step of faith. Try out that new thing. Try out that new thing, because you never know what success you're going, what success story you're gonna have from just trying out that new thing. And so go out this week and begin to brainstorm and begin to think about what ways or what new things are there that God has placed in front of you, what opportunities are there that God has placed in front of you. No matter how disqualified you think it might be for you, God is the one that qualifies you. So go on and be that greatness that you were set to be. God bless.